So today I'm going to take a look at the top 10 running YouTube channels that have influenced my running and my running YouTube channel. And I'm going to try and do it in under 10 minutes. We'll see how it goes. So kicking us off at number 10 is going to be the channel from Nick Simmons. So I love his channel, and this is kind of my guilty pleasure here because there's not a whole lot of necessarily value when it comes to like how to run well. But there is a lot of value here in just entertainment because Nick Simmons is extremely entertaining and he creates these crazy challenges and things like that, and I just love watching it. And then he brings other people together from all over the country and tries to, pit them against each other, and people can win money and all this kind of stuff. It's just a fun channel to watch. I really love it, and I've always been a fan of Nick Simmons, even when he was competing and doing really well in the Olympics and things like that. So really love Nick Simmons' channel. That's my number 10. Now, let's move on to number 9, and this is In the Long Run with Josh Sanchez, and this is another one that's just, it's fun for me. And yes, Josh is a chiropractor and he does provide a lot of really good value in his running videos, but a lot of it is also just entertainment value and him just kind of being a goofball and just showing himself to be not super serious, but also he's a really, really good runner. So following along with his journey and seeing how well he's doing and, attempting to run sub 15 minutes for 5K, things like that. I mean, he's a really good runner. So it's just really enjoyable to watch his channel, and it's a fun one to do. I've even interviewed him before on my channel. So if you guys are interested in that, I'll try and leave a link to that in the description. But really love Josh's channel. It's a fun one, fun channel to watch. Now, next I'm going to get into kind of what my influences have been for MAF training and or low heart rate training in general. And the first one's going to be Triathlon Tanner. And yes, it's a triathlon channel, of course, but it is really talking about endurance training, right? And training for endurance sport, whether that is running or cycling or swimming or whatever. There's a lot of overlap here with what I am trying to teach on my channel in regards to how to prep yourself for a big race, how to train, how to work with low heart rate training, 80-20 principles and things like that. But then getting ready for that big race. So really have enjoyed Triathlon Tanner. He's also kind of a goofball and kind of silly and fun. This is kind of a theme for me. I tend to like people that are just not super serious and can really enjoy themselves and be entertaining. Next is Flores Gearman, and yes, we are talking now about MAF training for sure. This is kind of his shtick. This is what he really talks about a lot. He's interviewed Phil Maffetone multiple times on his channel, and I have watched those interviews and they're really, really good. And he talks a lot about the low heart rate training and Maffetone method and helping people get to sub 3 hour marathons with MAF training. So I think that his channel is really good. He's a little less on that silly side. He's a little bit more serious and a little more. No, he's from, I can't remember exactly where he's from, maybe the Netherlands. So I don't know if that's a cultural thing or not, but anyway, I still really enjoy his channel because he has really good content and really helpful content. Alright, so the next one we're going to talk about then is strength running, and I really got into his channel more through his podcast. His podcast was something that I really, really enjoyed listening to while I was out on the run. And so whenever I was kind of getting into the very beginning of starting my YouTube channel, I was listening to his podcast quite a bit. And so it was really helpful for me to kind of see what his thought process was with strength training, how that's kind of supplementing your running potential, right? And then he's also doing some interviews with some people as well. He gives trail running tips, how to run in specific environments, things like that. So really enjoy strength running channel. He's been very consistent for a long time, putting good content out. So really enjoy that channel. Check it out. All right, coming up next, I think we are on number 5, and this is the Run Experience. And this one, I I got introduced to whenever I found an interview with Nate, and he was doing an interview with Kelly Starrett, who is a physical therapist, a very well-known physical therapist in the kind of CrossFit and that kind of a world. But Nate did an interview with Kelly Starrett, and whenever I'm a physical therapist, so I was searching stuff for Kelly Starrett, and I came across the Run Experience, and I kind of got sucked into their channel. It's a lot of really practical, really helpful tips on how to avoid injuries and rehab injuries and different training styles and methods and things like that. So this has really influenced my channel quite a lot. I really enjoy the content that Nate puts out. And then moving on to number 4 is Sage Kennedy. If you guys haven't seen Sage Kennedy's channel, he has been putting stuff out forever. And he's a professional runner. He runs with Hoka One One. He's been putting out content about ultra running and marathoning for quite a long time. And he also puts out a lot of really great content that's practical tips on how to improve your endurance. And he talks a lot about, well, yes, you need to put in more mileage and more easy miles in order to get better and faster. That is kind of one of his main things, is put in more miles. But he's also doing, different challenges and things like that where he's meeting up with other people. But he's also walking you through some of his specific races and things like that he's doing. I just really enjoy kind of following along with Sage and what he's doing on his channel. Now moving on to my top 3, and this is where we get into really what's really influenced my channel over the last year. And we're going to first look at James Dunn, a sports rehab specialist, and he does a lot of talk about how to avoid injuries, how to rehabilitate injuries, practical tips about how to achieve better results in specifically distance running. He's also done some really, really great form analysis, running form analysis videos that have been really helpful to see, and he's breaking down people like Eliud Kipchoge and Kenenisa Bekele and some of the elite females like Shalane Flanagan, people like that, and then he's comparing that to how does the normal average Joe kind of run. And I've just found that his content has been extremely helpful for me because I am a physical therapist. He's a rehab specialist as well, and a lot of his content is kind of coming from the same mindset of what I kind of bring. So I've found his channel to be really helpful and really inspiring for me and some of the videos that I've made over the years as well. Alright, number 2, and yes, we have to talk about Kofuzi. Kofuzi is based in Chicago, and he's always putting out these incredible cinematic kind of sequences of him running, and he's doing this almost on a daily basis. I think he puts out somewhere between 4 and 6 videos a week. I mean, he's doing constant stuff, but his channel is a lot about reviews as well. He's constantly reviewing new shoes, putting in 100 miles, and he's putting 100 miles on them and saying here's his opinion on these particular shoes. And then he's also reviewing nutritional stuff. He's reviewing running clothing. He's reviewing running watches as well. So I've really, really enjoyed Kofuzi's channel because it gives me an idea of what some of the new products are that are out there. Not necessarily that I'm going to go and buy them, but he does it in an entertaining way, and he does it in a way that's very honest and practical, and I really enjoy Kofuzi's channel for that. Now lately, since the pandemic's been around, he's had a little bit of free time, and he's been doing a lot of live streams. So he does a live stream nearly every day, it seems like. I think it's at least maybe 3 days a week. I don't catch all of them, but I definitely try and see what he's talking about in those live streams, and those are just kind of fun, and he's just kind of bantering with people and also providing a little bit of value along the way. That's where he talks a lot about some of his nutrition stuff, is in those live stream things. But I've really enjoyed Kofuzi's channel over the last year. He's just been one that's consistent, one that you can go to, that you can rely on his content. So really enjoy watching Kofuzi. And you can't do a running YouTube channel list until you talk about Seth James more. And yes, this is my number one because this is what inspired me to start my own channel. This is the channel that I started watching about a year and a half ago, where he was showing the beauty of the places that he was running. He was showing consistency. He's literally doing a video every single day. He hasn't missed a day in, I think it's somewhere around 5 years. And it started not as a running channel, but then moved into one. And now I just love his content. I don't know how he pumps out so much, so consistently, and with such high quality, because he's not just talking about, he's not just a talking head. He's not just doing the stuff that I do where he's just literally sitting here in front of a camera talking about stuff. He does cinematic sequences. He takes his drone out. He does GoPro footage. He's got his DSLR where he's doing super, super high quality cinematic stuff. And the B-roll is just fantastic over top of him talking. So, and of course he's doing shoe reviews. He's talking about training principles and talking about his training and his racing. And then he's really honest about his injuries that pop up and the problems that he faces along the way. Not to mention, he talks about his family, which is really fun. He brings in his wife, who he calls True Love. And it's just a really inspiring channel for us runners because it really gets us to get off our butt, get out the door, and just go for a run. And I just love Seth's channel for that. Fortunately, I had the opportunity to interview Seth as well. So I'll leave a link for you guys if you guys want to check that out as well. So I highly encourage you guys to check out all of these channels so that you can see kind of where my influences are coming from. You'll probably be able to pick out, oh, that's where he got that from, that's where he got that from. But then I've kind of put it all together to form my own kind of training principles and to form my own YouTube channel that pulls the best of all of these different channels. So that's all I've got for you guys today. Tell me in the comments below, what's your favorite running YouTube channel and how has it influenced your running in the past? So head on out there, seek your elite. God bless, and I'll see you next time.